LEGO released this official Bionicle G2 art book, and it shows us concept art for that second generation of Bionicle. It's an amazing glimpse at what could have been in this final year of the theme. It's also a bit of a glimpse at what potentially could have come if we got more waves of sets. There's some pretty unique stuff here. And not only is it fascinating to look at, it's also a great way to get a little bit of inspiration for your own future LEGO creations. So let's check out this book once again and see some of the treasures that are inside. We're going to start off with some imagery showing off the Mask of Ultimate Power. We never actually got an official version of this legendary mask, sadly. But some history about this mask is that it was a very powerful mask that was forged and later worn by the evil Makuta, the main villain of the story. We do actually see a version of this mask appearing on Makuta. He's wearing this in the Netflix Bionicle Journey to One animation. It's pretty cool. And since that animation came out, people of course have made 3D printed versions of this mask that you can download yourself. It looks a little something like this. In fact, you can actually build the model that's seen of Makuta in that animation with existing pieces. There are instructions online. It looks a little something like this. There was talk that if G2 continued, we would have seen something similar to this in an existing set, which is a crime. That would have been so cool. But hey, we're not even talking about the art book yet. That's the story behind what we're about to look at. Here is some of the images of the original artwork. I find sketches like this quite fascinating. These sorts of beams of energy coming out of the edges of the mask. That's such a cool idea. Very ethereal, very godlike. It's certainly fitting for a mask that has quite a legendary status. However, I get the sense that this mask is one of those things that looks good in the artwork and in theory, but it wouldn't really translate well into actual LEGO. I'm sure some of these beams of energy would break off very easily on the final mold, and also having so many different colours moulded into one piece, that's not really something that LEGO has done before, and doing it would probably be very expensive. Yet maybe they could print these different colours onto the edges of the mask, but I don't know if that would look that good, or even be possible. But one idea that could be awesome, maybe this mask is like the Infinity Gauntlet. The mask in the center, it's its own piece, and it has holes on the side where you can attach these kind of claw pieces. I mean, that could be cool. Maybe every G2 Toa set comes with a different rainbow claw, and then the larger set in the wave comes with this mask. So you gotta collect them all, combine everything together, and you end up with the final version of the mask. Honestly, man, that would have been dope. I would happily buy a 3D printed version of that if it existed. That's a great concept. But, it seems they abandoned this concept. They did not move forward with it. And that whole combination idea is just me dreaming. I don't think that's what they were planning, but that would have been cool. Some of the other art moving forward shows off a bit more of a monotonous colour scheme, and kind of moving away from that rainbow effect. Still, the hard edges of all of these different masks, and the continuation of some swirling lines on the ends, it's unlike anything we've seen before. I think it's pretty cool. But I guess they settled on something a bit less over the top. You can really see how the shape of the cheeks or the edges of the face, they really start to mirror that final design. This mask, of course. And then we've got a few more ideas here which really feel very Evangelion coded. Comparing a few of these to some of those designs from the anime, it certainly seems like it was some sort of influence, or at least had some inspiration being played into it. We have actually seen other art images from this art book that certainly seem to be taking inspiration from that anime. It's a shame that the final sets didn't move in this direction. I think that would have looked amazing. It would have been something really special. Now, there's all sorts of stuff here, but the mask at the very bottom in the right corner, this one, yeah, it looks a lot closer to that final design. It certainly seems to be taking elements from everything we've been discussing, but rounding it off in a more subtle way. All of these mask designs rock. Maybe you could try recreating these with existing system pieces. That could be a fun challenge. Or if you're a master of 3D printing, you could make your own custom version of them. This art is just such a wellspring of inspiration. And hey, it's just nice to look at this sort of stuff. But we've still got plenty more to look at. A lot of this artwork is showcasing the final designs for some of the sets that did release. However, they've been drawn in a very different art style. Very gritty designs that give everything a very hard edge. Looking at the artwork, it gives me a newfound respect for some of these sets. The ideas themselves were amazing. Maybe they could have been executed and replicated a little better in the final designs. But still, so much of my love of G1 Bionicle sets, especially that first year, my love of it came from staring at the promotional imagery for hours, seeing the characters living in their world, seeing them pose in such incredible lifelike ways, seeing them come to life. It just felt magical. And I feel like I transcribed so much of the energy of these images, the essence of them. I poured that into the sets themselves. The imagery helped them come to life. And I feel the same here. This cool artwork makes me appreciate the toys a lot more. Now, one of the images here even shows a character that we did not get in a set. Or perhaps this is just early concept art for another character that changed and evolved. Still, I love this, they rock. Check out their weapons. Blasters with blades on the ends. And he's dual wielding them as well. Sick. And look at this. He's just slicing up a dude behind him. Literally cutting him in half. That's graphic, that's hardcore. Certainly not something we saw in the official sets. I don't know, this guy just looks really dope. And looking at the image the way it's drawn, there's enough things here that resemble existing pieces. You probably could build this guy with existing parts today. That could be fun. We also have a few more characters that never really became final sets, like this dude, Demon Warrior. I adore this color scheme. Trans green mixed with purple and gunmetal? That's so cool. It's like the perfect little Halloween Bionicle. The idea also seems to propose what would be a new model for the iconic G2 headpiece. This one right here. The concept art here shows a version that looks a little bit more like a skull rather than a typical human head. Because if this did become a set and it exactly followed this art, it wouldn't have a mask. It would just be an empty face, which isn't really something they did in Bionicle G2. But if we did get a skull variant of that face, that could be quite interesting and actually look pretty cool. I would have liked to have seen that. And I would have loved to have seen these weapons as well. I don't know if they would have been given brand new molds or something, but I mean, come on, a huge shield with a purple blade on the end of it? And then a giant greatsword with purple highlights. Ho ho ho! That's a thing of beauty. And then we've got this kind of dinosaur humanoid dude. Interesting concept here. The staff seems to be designed to snatch masks. And then the character is wearing Tahu's mask on his shoulder. The image here states that Tahu dropped his original mask and replaced it with the golden one. And now this dude just picks it up and collects them. Yeah, that's kind of cool. A mask collector concept. Kind of reminds me of Core Hunter from Hero Factory and his psychopathic desire to kill heroes and collect their cores. It's not as cool as Core Hunter, that's for sure. But hey, I would happily buy a toy that likes to collect masks. Why? Because he's me. I like to collect masks. He's relatable. And even still, it's a fun idea. It's cool seeing him wear Tahu's mask like that, like a trophy. So there you go. That's lots of amazing art and plenty of great inspiration in this epic art book. G2 is really amazing. It's a shame we didn't see more of it. Anyway, thanks for watching guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Happy building, and bye for now.